Hello, I'm Cara Stevens. Welcome so much to, wait, I'm going to start that over, sorry. Hello, welcome to the blah, 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 blah.
The Discover Montcalm Podcast is brought to you by WGLM 1063 FM, Be More Media, Busy Bees Embroidery and Vinyl Signs, West Michigan Technology and Design Solutions, and DW Video. Welcome to the Discover Montcalm Podcast, where we are going to look at the communities, the businesses, the attractions, and the people that make up Montcalm County. Here is your podcast host, Cara Stevens.
Hello, welcome to the Discover Montcalm Podcast. I'm Cara Stevens from M1063 WGLM, joined by Blake from Blake Hollenbeck Auto Sales and Service. Thanks for joining us, Blake.
Hey, good to be here, Cara.
Thanks. Discover Montcalm, it's all about what you think, Montcalm County in Michigan, and you've been here a long time.
Yeah, my whole life, yeah.
Your whole life.
58 years.
All in Greenville.
Greenville, Sydney.
Greenville area, pretty much. So Montcalm County for sure. And you and I have got a history. I mean, we've hung out way back in the day when we were in school and younger, and I was getting in trouble, and you were being such a good guy that you were not getting in trouble. And, fast forward, college, back to town, and I'm working with Blake, and the job at M1063 comes up, and Blake actually recommended me for the job. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
So, just wanted to get in here because we are doing a episode coming up about the station, 106th episode for Dwayne for Discover Montcalm on M1063, makes sense. And just a lot of the connections and how we work together in the county and how you've come up through, what you've done in the county and what, where you started, what you've done. I know back in the day you were at Randy Marin Auto Sales. That's kind of where you started your...
Yeah, actually I started with Ed Cohen back in '86 when I very first got out of high school.
Okay.
Randy Marin recommended me for the job.
Oh, see how it works?
Randy's my uncle. And anyways, Randy had worked for Chapin Dotson for years there, and at that time they were just sold out to Ed Cohen.
Okay.
And Ed was looking for a young guy, which back then I was, 19. And,
back then, yeah.
And way back. And anyway, so Randy got me in there, and then he no sooner got me in there, and then he left. And so I hung out with Ed there for a year and a half or so, learned a lot out there, learned a lot about sales, and it was kind of good to get some new car training at the time. And
sure, I was just going to ask if that's where you started, was right in sales?
Yep, started right out in sales, didn't have a clue, and just dove in. And
sounds like my radio. Didn't have a clue, just
fake it till you make it.
Had an internship and did what they said, and now here we are, right?
Yeah, yep. So I was grateful for the opportunity we got from Ed, and then a couple of years later, Randy started a lot out there north of town, and I went out there, and we went great guns. The timing was really good for Randy in the late 80s. The economy was really taking off, and we had a big refrigerator plant, Electrolux back then, and they happened to be cranking at the time, and we were kind of the blue collar salesmen.
Salesman, yep.
I think we were kind of one of the first ones to be kind of pretty casual. We were pretty casual guys, and it went over really big, good prices and price on the windows, and and I've always kept up with that.
Not a lot of white collars and ties on the sales floor at your place.
Yeah, yep, none at all. Yep, just try to keep it simple. And
so how long before you started your dealership?
So I hung out with Randy for 10 years there, from 88 to 98, and then I started my own business in 1998.
Okay, and I know you've expanded.
Several times,
Several times.
Yep, over the years.
Moved twice or just expanded? You've always
moved 3 times. Well,
I did tell you I was gone for like 20 years, so I can't keep up with everything.
Yeah, or we moved at least twice. We've had three locations, excuse me.
Okay.
Started out east of town on the curve there, out by Consumer Powers and by the nursing home.
Okay, yep. Okay, yep, I do remember that, yep.
Now, and
yep.
So we ended up out there. That's where we started in 98.
I can't even imagine, because that is so small compared to
leased
what
that
you've
little
got going
building
on
from
now.
a dear friend of mine, John Lyons. At the time, he was an acquaintance, a guy I knew a little bit, and we became close friends over a period of years, leasing that building from him. And then I had the opportunity arose. I bought the building that Tinney's now at, their used car center. And I purchased that from Bruce Rowland.
Okay.
And went out there and bought it, and we did a lot of work on it. We put a asphalt parking lot in, had a dirt parking lot, and renovated the offices, and put a big service addition on. And
then did the flip-flop.
Then we got into service, got everything going really well, and then I bought the property next to us to the west, where the car wash is, with the idea I was going to expand over there in the future. And then we had the big news that Electrolux was leaving, and everybody was pretty scared in town, including myself, that nobody knew what to expect, what was going to happen to our town with our biggest employer leaving.
Sure.
And a lot of the other business in towns were
relying on that as well.
Yeah. It was right in that area too. We lost towers, and
everybody freaked out.
Yeah, so it was unprecedented times, and so I ended up put that land up for sale. Thought maybe I'd just worry about keeping what I got instead of worrying about expanding at the time, and ended up selling that to the car wash, which in turn worked out real well. And yep, we fast forward years down the road, we sold it to Tinney's, and
they're doing well. You're doing well. Car wash is doing well.
Yeah, which looking back, it was pretty risky selling my thriving business to a competitor, my location, I should say.
Right.
And then moving up the street 1,000 feet, but it worked out fine for everybody involved. And
heck yeah. And for the community, because
no regrets now. At the time, I was starting to wonder. When I got down there, I had a lot of work to do on when I bought it was a hardware store.
Sure.
Ace Hardware was there. And
wow, how that's changed over there.
Yeah.
That west side of town.
Yeah, it has. I mean, you think about it from us growing up out there, the whole west side of town.
It was nothing, really.
Yeah, I used to work at Jorgensen Supermarket, which is now a family farm and
home, yeah.
Family farm and home or whatever.
Yeah. And, that was like the edge of town.
I remember getting out of there with my little hot rod, and there wasn't nothing going west at all.
No. We were going north because that's where you could,
Myers was out there.
Have the 2 lanes, and we could. I was the one getting in trouble drag racing down Main Street. It wasn't him.
Yeah.
So, like, back to the community, you've done a lot for the community, too. I know you sponsor a lot of things. You help a lot with the schools. You're involved in a lot of different things. Would you have thought that as a 19-year-old kid getting into sales at Ed Cohen?
No, I guess I never really thought about it. It just came natural, to, just try to help people out. I know.
And people have helped you out.
Certainly,
and that's kind of the story of it, really, is Montcalm. There's a lot going on here, and there's a lot of friends. A
lot of good people, and we try to just do a lot of stuff locally. I don't do a lot of other advertising. I try to do local stuff. We sponsor golf outings and just a lot of things in the community that I believe in. Just we always try to keep it simple. Don't try to overthink it.
Yeah. Keeping it like you said. No games, no gimmicks. Everything's right there.
Yeah, that's kind of been our slogan, I guess, and it's just because it's the truth.
Right.
We would like to thank our sponsor, M1063, WGLM, FM, your locally owned and operated radio station, playing the widest variety of music to keep you moving with local news, sports, and weather. Visit m1063.com. Be More Media helps businesses be seen, be heard, and be more profitable. Be More Media helps small businesses get seen on Google and found through digital marketing and print marketing strategies. Visit them at bemoremedia.com. West Michigan Technology and Design Solutions is your local source for managed IT, websites design and hosting, digital marketing, and more. Check them out at WMTDS.com. Check out Busy Bees Embroidery and Vinyl Signs, your one-stop shop for your embroidery and screen printing needs. Located south of Stanton, go to CVSDBusyBees.com.
All right, now here's the big question. What's your favorite car?
My favorite car? Well, I don't know if I have one anymore or not, but...
All right, what was it when you had Matchbox cars?
Well, I'll just go to... I've always... my hot rods, I've always liked my Camaros, Novas, and Chevelles.
Yep, I was going to say that too.
That's always been soft spot.
69 Camaro's always been mine, but lately it's just been Mopar for me. It's weird.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird how you change, you know?
I liked them too, yeah. I can appreciate all the muscle cars now. I mean, I truly do.
Sure.
But yeah, I had a lot of Novas growing up, so they're always got a soft spot too. So
when you could actually work on them.
We used to like to work on them and tear them apart, put them back together.
Now back to the dealership too. I know you've got a lot of family members out there. How does that all work?
Yeah, it works pretty darn good. At least on my end. I don't know what they say about it, but
well, they're still there, aren't they?
Yeah, they're still there 25 years later. So.
They're still there.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny story. My first one to come to work with, my first employee I hired was my brother. And
which one?
Brett, my oldest brother,
right.
And he come to work with me. And when I got him, I kind of got my nephew Cody. At the time, he was 13 or 14, but he looked like he was about 8. And he'd drive cars in to wash them. And of course, if you're a Hollenbeck and you're at work, you're going to work. So he was.
Age is no.
He'd come to work with his dad, and he was out there washing cars and doing all kinds of stuff. And I remember driving across the parking lot. It looked like nobody's even in it. He had his head tilted back so he could see over the steering wheel. True story. And he'd be moving cars around. And so Cody, I think, is 39 now, and he's worked there for almost
30 years.
26 years, yeah. He's got 26 years, and he's 39.
And he does a great job out in service too.
So then
he's learned a lot. I mean,
he started out washing cars, and he started out helping in service, and then he ended up running service. So so that's went full circle.
I know a couple of your daughters have been through.
And then Bart, he's been with me 25 years.
Yeah.
And he started out, he was working at Federal Mogul, and he was washing cars. He was working second shift, so he'd come in late morning and help out for a few hours before he went to work. Then we started growing. I was like, hey, man, I'm going to hire a salesperson. Do you want
to be it?
Another one? So he was pretty shy, too, so it was kind of an adjustment for him, but he's done a real good job, and it's, works out good because everybody knows, we know everybody, and we know how we know each other. And
yep.
So, and they always got my back, so that's been huge. And
Robin keeps you on your appointments.
And then Robin, she was right after Brett. She'd been there almost 26 years, and so.
Now you said she's got a protege?
Yep, she usually always has a helper. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Keeps you on track.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Her helper is Liz there, and she's doing a real good job for us. And a lot of times her helpers, we've had some really great girls in there that's been stepping stone jobs for them,
Sure.
Helping out, and we've had some really good girls over the year.
And I think it was just
helping us get there.
Intern week or something like that last week, and I just thought back and I probably would not be in radio if it weren't for an internship or just somebody opening the door and saying, hey, come on in, you might like this, give it a try, or just somebody saying yes. You know what I mean?
I think when we first met, you were at KLQ, or no, I should say Matt. But
when I got back around in town, I was over in Grand Rapids working in radio. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
came home
at the big rock and roll station.
Sure.
Talked me into doing some commercials down there in GR.
Yep. Yep. Just like this, really. Just have you come in and we start talking, and then we cut commercials.
Yeah.
Just talk about what we're doing, what you're doing, and.
Yeah, we did some kind of crazy stuff back then, I think, for commercials. I can't remember what they were.
I thought you were going to go back further. No, just kidding.
No, but the rock and roll station, remember we did
KOQ.
we did some, I can't
some
remember what
fun commercials.
Did. Yeah, but.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd have you come in there, too. That's when Tony Gates and everybody were still.
Yeah, we were in studio.
Rocking in LAV, and you'd go up to the fancy studios.
Yeah, we go downtown and.
Now we got the fancy Discover Montcalm Podcast studio, so we are stepping up.
This was a nice drive out here.
Heck yeah. And I know you like to drive in circles.
Yeah.
Round and round and round and round and round.
Yeah, we had a little 12-year stint of doing some stock car racing.
Some racing, yeah.
That was no regrets there. That was an awesome time.
Are you still involved out at the track at Crystal?
Yeah, we're pretty involved in sponsoring everything right now. I kind of had to step back a little bit for a couple of years because once you tried to get away from it a little bit. It's pretty addicting, so.
You had to just turn away, huh?
I had to just walk away for a little bit.
You wanted to race. You wanted to still be out there? Or
oh, yeah.
just kind of a bug?
The racing I truly miss. Just all the time in the garage. I still do 6 days a week at the dealership, and I work around 60 hours a week. And
oh, you want to still be healthy and
we got where we spend 20 hours a week in the garage probably, and approximately, and it's a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah, so I got grandkids getting bigger, and we're real involved with all of them, and
it's kind of nice too. Your time.
Got a close family. We hang out a lot together.
Yeah, everything changes, I guess.
Yeah. So no, that was a really good run out there at Crystal. But yeah, no, I'm real big fan of Crystal Motor Speedway, and Ron Flynn, the previous owner, is a close friend of mine, and the new guys are great too. We really like them out there, and they're really doing a good job. Yeah,
they've been promoting really well, and it seems like everybody's happy with it. And it's just one of the other things that you can come out and discover in Montcalm County.
Yeah, I highly recommend that, to go out there and check that out.
Oh, heck yeah. Sitting in the bleachers with the dust and dirt.
Yep.
It's a good time. It really is. It really is. So, anything else you got coming up? Anything expanding? Are you going to take over the vet's office across the street now that they're there?
Yeah, no. Yeah, we got new neighbors over there. They seem to be good people over there. And
nice.
Doing good stuff in the community. And yeah, we got really good neighbors. Start talking about that with the parts store and the hotel.
Yeah. Hey, we're growing, man.
Yeah, my competitors across the street, we do business back and forth, buying parts and stuff, and actually it's a good neighborhood out there.
And that's the thing, too. It's like if you've got a customer that comes in, and we try to do the same thing, too, with advertising and promotions. If we can't help you, we're going to try and find somebody who can.
Yeah.
And you guys do the same thing.
Yeah, actually, talking about my competitors, I get along good with all of them. Trevor across town, he's my cousin, and Ray Winnie just retired. He's a friend of ours.
Yeah.
And yeah, we get along good with everybody in town, and we're not out. We just doing our thing. We're trying to make a living like everybody else, and so are they. And so we've always looked at it that way.
That's pretty much a good way to close this segment, I think, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming, Blake. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Cara. Appreciate
really
it.
Good to see you as always.
Yeah, honored to do this. Thanks.
Thank you.
The Discover Montcalm podcast is produced by content creator Dwayne Weed, celebrating 40 years at DW Video and Multimedia LLC at dwvideo.com, or call 231-250-9624. Connect and follow the Discover Montcalm podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Check out all our episodes at discovermontcalmpodcast.com. We look forward to featuring your business, community, nonprofit, events, and more. Contact Dwayne at 231-250-9624, 231-250-9624. Thank you for tuning in and following the Discover Montcalm podcast.